Okay, so in this we're going to work with Mixolydian uses. I'm going to try to have everybody covered, and for the most part, I have stuff sitting in front of me, and then that I have written down, and then other things that I'll just kind of make up, and just to have as many bases covered as possible. First thing I can think of is film score guys, or somewhat. You can use this as a transition. Mixolydian. Transition. So I use it, I'll just play through this. I actually worked this out earlier before I started the video. What happened is I was sitting there playing, trying to figure out, well, how can I use Mixolydian? And at first, I was playing through one of my melodies. And then I'm not gonna. So I took that same motif and played it, and well, I went to C Mixolydian. See. Just similar, just used it partially. Then went into it a calmer version. So let me replay it now that I've worked it out. Actually, let's play the chords. C Mixolydian, the 5 with a flat 7. 5, 7, and then I converted that to a half diminished and moved to D major, and then used a bunch of borrowed chords and stuff. So let me replay the sequence. C Mixolydian using a partial part of my motif. To the main melody. Using this as a transition and just temporarily going into my melody. I wanted to show it in context of a piece of music that flows from one part to the next. So here's something people probably recognize. That's from a Debussy piece. Clearly Mixolydian there. 1, 7, 5, and he does it in parallel motion like this. So, and you're basically just playing a Mixolydian scale. I forgot the name of the piece. If you know it by hand on the comments, please leave that. So it's A Mixolydian. Okay, so let's think of something else to do. I could do something like this. Pulse on a sus2 chord in Mixolydian, maybe a up tempo. Something like that. You could do stuff like that, with a G sus2. And I don't know who wrote this. Bittersweet Symphony, I believe it's called. I'm only going to play partially because of copyright reasons. I'm afraid it'll get taken down for that reason, so I stopped there, made it really short. It's just 1, 5, flat 7, 7, sus2, 4, 1, and just keeps repeating that. So E Mixolydian. Something popular use of it. Enya, I don't remember the name of the song. I always say Sail Away. I'm only going to use partial again for copyright reasons. I'll leave it at that. It's just G Mixolydian there. 7, 1, 7. Interesting thing she does is switches to C Dorian. We covered Dorian, so on the second part of that song. So when I was listening to it earlier, getting Mixolydian pieces just to show, I noticed that the second part was in Dorian. I was like, that's kind of cool. So especially for, well, I don't know if you consider pop, but so she's F, G Mixolydian, C Dorian. These styles that use a lot of 1-4-5 dominant bass chords, like 12-bar blues and whatnot. So I'll just make something, and then I'll probably have to record it into the sequencer. Sorry. Dominant based Mixolydian. Dominant based 1-4-5 Mixolydian. You know, with some chromaticism though. I'm going to hit stop and play it into the sequencer, then hit play so you can hear it up to speed. Okay, here we are. So, dominant bass music, Mixolydian, 1-4-5. So, let's do something else. Something I thought of on this here. Mixolydian pentatonic, and I'll explain what this is really in a second. Just briefly. Okay, Mixolydian pentatonic. It's actually derived from the major. So we got Mixolydian. Well, that's the fifth mode of D major, right? So if we play D major pentatonic, move that shape over as the A is the root note. You have A Mixolydian pentatonic, same shape as D major pentatonic. Let's do something kind of a marchy feel. I'll record this into the sequencer so it sounds up to speed, because I'm not very good at this. Creating things that are meant to be speedy. So let me hit stop. I'll record that into the sequencer. Be right back. Okay, here it is. And these are some tricks of the Impressionistics and people like Ralph Vaughan Williams. They love stuff like that. Those kind of pentatonic scales. Here's one I thought of on this earlier. I had it written down. I just almost forgot about it. Fiddler on the Roof, one of the main melodies. I don't remember exactly how the backing goes, maybe. Hopefully this isn't under copyright. I think that's it. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but just C Mixolydian. So there's a use for it in a musical. So I hope I've covered as many bases as possible. There's so many sounds you could get out of every scale that it's really impossible to cover everything. So let's go ahead and stop here, and hopefully that gives you some ideas and ways to take it, ways you might personally use it. Mixolydian, whether it be 12-bar blues, and the 12-bar blues things. A lot of times those guys do use. Well, actually, we're not going to cover that. This is not about that, but Mixolydian based 1-4-5. And so try everything, and hopefully there's enough examples here.